taking some time on a Friday to hop on for our pre-event call for PurpleStride Maryland. The agenda up on the screen is your little peek at our roadmap for the conversation today. We have been planning for months. We've talked with our friends at the Maryland affiliate a few times throughout the planning process, and this is just kind of our last opportunity to get all in one place, make sure we've captured all of the changes and requests that have come in, answer any last minute questions you might have. We're going to go over the main core documents, the site map, the route map. We'll also go over the detailed event weekend timeline and just shine everything up and get it ready for the event in 21 days. Woo. For right now, I will pull the screen share down so we can see each other's faces a little bit better, and let's do our round of intros at the top of the call. My name is Erin Piaski. I'm the account manager for PurpleStride on the Event 360 side. I've been working on the PurpleStride projects since we partnered with PanCan in 2021. Very excited to be heading into our year 5 events. So I will be in the National Command Center in LA again this year, and I will pass it over to Ashley.
Hi folks, Ashley Marquis. I'm an event production coordinator here at Event 360, and I've been doing behind the scenes logistical things as far as the timeline we're going to go through today, the site map, the route map, procuring permits and whatnot. I will be located in DC, and this will be my 4th PurpleStride with you all. So happy to be here. Kaz, I think you're next.
Sure. I'm David Kozlowski. Everybody calls me Kaz. I am the purchasing manager for Event 360. So working with my team and Ashley's team to set up all the orders for all the PurpleStride events, as well as the orders for our other clients. I will be the site manager for Maryland. This will be the first time that I've gone out on a PurpleStride event, so looking forward to actually seeing what that is in person, and being a part of this one.
Kaz knows the PurpleStride events very well. Usually we have him in virtual command dealing with purchasing issues. This year we're sending him out to the ground. And staffing alongside Kaz will be Eric.
Yeah, my name's Eric Kornmeyer. I'm a retired captain from the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. I've done event coordination, event operations for Kentucky Downs in Franklin, Kentucky for the last 5 years. And yeah, looking forward to this first event with Event 360 and PurpleStride.
Happy to have you here. Anna, you want to take us to the PanCan side?
Yes, happy to. Eric, I love that you're a Maryland native. And Kaz, this is a very good starter event for you because we've got a veteran group here. So return venue, returning volunteers, it's going to be, I think it'll be a good experience for you. But hi, everyone. I'm Anna Summers. I'm the Senior Community Relationship Manager who works with our Maryland affiliate. I also work with our DC affiliate, our Raleigh-Durham affiliate, and our Richmond affiliate. Sadly, I will not be on the ground in Maryland. I will be about an hour away in DC with Ashley, which I'm very excited that Ashley will be there too. But no, this group will be great. This is such a great event, and the venue's been great to work with for us. So I think it's going to be good. We're just going to hope for no rain because that's been the only literal damper on this event for the past few years. So I will kick it over to Megan Slater from PanCan, who will actually be there with you all on event day.
Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Megan Slater. Thank you, Anna. I am normally, I guess, outside of PurpleStride, lead our government affairs and advocacy efforts for the organization. So are meeting with members of Congress, mobilizing volunteers, all of that good jazz. And we're in the middle of what I call our high season on the appropriations front. But excited to join the team in Maryland. I've been to fair number of PurpleStrides, Boston, Connecticut, DC over the last couple of years. So I'm always excited to meet some new people, see how things are done in a different capacity, and look forward to meeting all of you in 21 days, I heard. So that's
21
me.
days.
Ebony,
Paul or Ebony? Yeah.
Good morning. Sorry, my camera isn't working today, of course. I'm Ebony Watson, and I am the affiliate chair for Maryland, but was previously the PurpleStride chair. And I have to say that you all are coming to the best PurpleStride. So I'm excited to have you all.
And Paul.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul Jones. I've been a longtime volunteer, first time Purple Stride chair, and I have enjoyed myself. Thank you. I'm glad to meet everybody.
Amazing. Thank you again, everybody. And we should be able to get through our agenda in probably less than an hour. So let's jump back over and see what else there is to see. This is mostly for you, Paul and Ebony, just checking in on our deliverables timeline. We've been updating the core documents periodically throughout the planning process. The latest update we did and uploaded to the shared resource site was last Monday, the 23rd. Those updates included everything we talked about since our last call with you in January, as well as any other change requests that came in over email between that January call and the change request deadline on March 16th. So they should be pretty complete at this point. We definitely will still be able to make small tweaks and adjustments if we need to. These are the versions of the documents we're going to go over on the call today. We will make any necessary changes and then get everything all shiny and perfect before it goes in the event book, which will be available on April 17th. The event book will be posted to the shared resource site, to the Maryland folder, and there's also a whole separate folder just for event books. And for our 360 staffers, it will be your version of the event book will be in Dropbox. There's also going to be one additional posting of just the vendor tracker. That'll be on the 13th. That's a Monday. That comes after the team's deadline, which is actually the end of this weekend. So after that, we're going to take the next week to make sure everything is correct and updated on the tent order, the vendor tracker, post that final version by itself on the 13th, and then that version and everything else will be in with the event book. Any questions? All right, let's chat about our staff and volunteer roles and responsibilities. Always fun to get into this. As you know, I've mentioned already a couple times, we have been talking with Paul and Anna several times throughout the last months. They are very familiar with all the ins and outs of the planning that's been going into this. But we know that a few of you are coming into the event learning what you learn on this call is the first you're learning about a lot of these details. And so we just like to lay out kind of who's responsible for what out there at the event itself. If you're looking at this slide, these three buckets, if you will, represent the event leadership team. So our PanCan staff person, Megan, is the face of the organization out there at the event, liaising with the other volunteers and our 360 staffers, helping manage the storage and supply pickup, and managing any donations that come in at the event. So if anybody shows up with checks or cash or anything like that, Megan, you will be handling all of that. Eric and Kaz legally are not allowed to touch donations as they come in, so we will point them all to Megan. The Event 360 staff members, Eric and Kaz, are managing all the logistical pieces. So all of those moving parts that Ashley's been putting into place over the last several months, managing the venue and hanging on to any permits, all the vendors that we've been lining up for logistics. They're the owners of our emergency response plan, which of course we hope we never need to turn to, but it is there and they know it if we do. Helping with the signage implementation and of course taking our very important post-event inventory. And then Paul is our PurpleStride chair. You are the glue bringing all of these pieces together on event day and bringing the participants into the whole experience. So you're going to help give lots of love to the top teams and fundraisers, managing the other volunteer leads, helping with distribution of signage, and just sort of keeping an eye on the overall timeline and flow of the event. All of these bullets are kind of a smattering of responsibilities and representative of what you'll be doing. But since it is such a small leadership team and staff team, it really becomes an all hands on deck kind of scenario. So everybody will be helping each other. You'll be in constant communication with each other, troubleshooting. You're the ones who are going to come together if decisions need to be made or there's any issues that need to be addressed. You're the ones who are going to be doing that. There are quite a number of other key volunteer roles, folks who will be in these chair or lead positions on the event. The one we always are asking about and checking on is the course lead. I'm not sure, Paul and Ebony, if you have somebody in mind as your course lead for the weekend. Or Anna, you may know.
I can answer for it because I know they'll just say the same thing. It's usually Ken, our previous PurpleStride chair's son-in-law.
Oh, okay.
So we can check. We'll just double check and make sure that he can still do it. But he lives like 5 minutes from the venue, so I can't imagine that he wouldn't be able to do it again this year.
I emailed Ken today to check to see.
Okay,
amazing. Yeah, that sounds familiar now that you mention it. And Anna, we've on all of our calls been doing this with you, but do you want to take a shot at filling in the event day contacts, or we can fill some of them in now?
Oh yes, sorry, because I need to put Paul in there most importantly.
Yeah.
And then I think and hang on, I can give you his number, or he can also if he wants to come off mute and just give it, he can too. But I have it in my phone. Give me 1 second. It is. Oh, go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
The phone number is 667-324-9299.
All right, thank you.
And then we do not have a sponsorship chair.
Okay.
We don't have a media chair. TBD on in the past, Susan has handled our event day volunteers. She didn't think that she was going to be able to come to PurpleStride, but it sounds like now she might actually be there. So let me just check in with her and see what the plan is there. And then we do not have a specific Teams chair or Grand Club chair.
All right.
And we also don't have a specific event experience chair. So I think, do we normally, I guess, Ebony, with registration donation lead, I'm trying to remember if we've normally put Tanel for that.
She's the event experience chair now.
Oh, she's doing event experience this year. Okay. All right. So I'll fill this in later, Erin.
Okay. Sounds good.
I will make you all sit here while we do it. But
sounds good. Sounds good.
I'm just going to write that down.
All right. I'm not going to go over much else on this slide. These are, more just they have kind of specific roles around the event village, but these other volunteers are key to getting everything up and ready for the event. We mentioned event day volunteers a little bit. How's recruitment going with getting folks lined up for event day? Are you getting people to register to volunteer?
I mean, I think things are looking good. We've got a decent number online, and then Ebony's sorority always comes and helps too. So
that's right.
We're all set.
All right, great. So while you're thinking about those event day volunteer roles, obviously during the event itself, those 4 or 5 hours is very important to have volunteers helping with that. These are just a couple other peripheral needs that if you have people who can help with this stuff, it's super great for the folks on the ground. Thursday will be really our storage and supply pickup day. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Don't need a ton of help with that, but we'll get into details about that when we get to the timeline. Friday early afternoon is the time that normally we would have maybe some of those other volunteer leads come in, any other volunteers who are going to help just sort of zhuzh up the event village. We let the tent company do their thing for a few hours in the morning, building the tents. And then once they're up, we can start filling them with everything that they're going to have. So early afternoon on Friday. And then Saturday, I know it's the least desirable volunteer shift, but if you can get a few folks to stick around at the end of the event, just to help with tear down and cleanup, that will make the whole thing go faster for everybody there if we've got those extra hands helping get signage back to the vehicles while our team's doing the inventory and everything. So just something to keep in mind while you're arranging your volunteer shifts and sweet talking your loved ones probably into staying at the end of the event. We have been in the signage trenches for well over a month now. I think we're closing in on being done with signage ordering. After the team's deadline, of course, we'll do one more round if there are any new all-star teams that need team banners, and just checking off any last-minute things that need to be added for signage needs. But who is receiving the shipments locally?
That would be Paul.
That
Okay.
would be me. Yes.
Great. I'm assuming you've gotten a few come to you already. We just ask that when those packages arrive, go ahead and open them up right away and check what's inside. Even if you don't, if you're like, I don't know if this is something I ordered or 360 ordered, we just want to make sure that it looks like something that you would have on your event. Maybe that the colors look okay, the spelling isn't wrong on anything, you didn't accidentally get Columbus, Ohio's team banners sent to you or something like that. So just open up the boxes, check what's inside, and let us know right away if it looks like there's anything wrong, something's misprinted or busted or anything like that. We don't anticipate any issues, but I always like to check it. If we need to reorder, we want to do that now and not have to do a rush order once we get to event week.
Got it. It's a package coming today.
Oh,
from
it seems
UPS.
like it's Christmas in April when it's signage time. Let's check in on our vendor tracker. So this is where we've been keeping tabs on all of the logistics vendors that we're lining up for the event. So Kaz and his team have been hard at work getting these vendors all lined up and added onto here. The vendor tracker is laid out in a way that's very intuitive, especially for you folks on the ground who are going to be setting things up. It's set up to organize all of the equipment and services and supplies that are coming according to where they go in the event village. So some general supplies up here at the beginning, and then from there we get into just each section between these thick black bars is a tent in the event village, essentially. So you can see, oh, if I find why do you stride, we've got a 10 by 10 tent and some tent weights, chairs, tables, everything right on down to quick covers and the pipe and drape that'll hang the banners on the front. So AV stage area, food, beverage, everything right on down is all divided up geographically around the event village, if you will. Right now, we've got your sponsors on here. Sponsor deadline has come and gone, so these should be locked in and final. As we've mentioned, teams are still pending until the deadline this weekend. After this weekend's deadline, we'll know those final numbers. Do you know if you have any all-star teams that have already qualified, or how many you expect there to be? I know we're only a few days away now.
I just checked the website in the background because I knew this question was coming. We're at 4 all-star teams right now.
Amazing. All right, great. So yeah,
I should mention one of them does not like to have a tent because they have a small team. So it'll be 3 tents.
Okay, good to know. And that will come in when we get all the info from PanCan.
I was going to say, we have a little spot where we can indicate on the spreadsheet, and I did indicate for Renee that they don't want a tent.
Don't need a tent. Got it. Sounds good. Well, that's great. 4 all-star teams, amazing. And then down here at the bottom and in the PDF version of this document that will be in the event book, each of these will be on its own page, but we do also have it separated out by provider type, by vendor type. So you can see it laid out according to where stuff goes in the event village, or you can see this is everything the tent company is providing. 52 total tables, 152 chairs. So you can see this, and Eric, I think this will really kind of be your jam as the vendor coordinator. Can see this next to the invoice that the tent company gives you and just confirm that they have brought everything that we ordered. So all of these pages will be part of the event book. Is there anything, Paul or Ebony or Anna, that you wanted to check on in terms of the tent order, anything specific? You can certainly go over this more closely after the call and let us know, but.
Can you confirm whether we will have a Grand Club tent this year? We had one last year, I believe.
Do have a Grand Club tent for you,
great.
Yes. Yep.
That was my only question then.
All right.
And do we have the extra tables and chairs?
Yes. Where do those guys sit normally? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got 10 extra chairs, 6 extra 6-foot tables.
Okay. And for this dolly and ladder, I see it's for AV, is it only for the AV or could we use
no,
the dolly for the water too?
They're coming, that's who's providing them. The AV company is going to provide the ladder and the dolly. So we can use them.
And
okay.
Yeah.
And I believe, Ebony, we should have 2 dollies in the storage unit as well. So hopefully that between all those, we should be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to pass the screen share over to Ashley, and she is going to take us through the fun stuff, starting with the event weekend timeline. Always kicking off the event weekend timeline conversation with a chat about storage pickup. So Thursday is our staff's travel day, and when we'll be picking up our minivan and getting settled into the area. That is also ideally the day that we're going to the storage unit or Paul's home to pick up the signage that's been shipped, whatever stops need to be made. So Anna and team, have we chatted about storage pickup yet? Do we have a plan, timeline?
We've not chatted about it yet, but I mean, Ebony and Paul, unless you guys disagree, I think what you guys did last year probably works well. Although I know Paul has a truck, so I don't know, Paul, since there's not t-shirts, are you thinking you can probably fit everything at your house in your truck?
Yeah, I was just automatically just going to bring it all in the truck.
Perfect.
Yep. So the water, the granola, the signage, everything is going to be in the truck.
Great.
Not having those 30 boxes of t-shirts really makes a difference. So
it really does.
Well, it fit last time, so it'll fit this time.
Yes. Also, Paul having a truck honestly makes a difference too. So, I also, Ebony and Paul, I had not updated you on this yet because I just got an email about it yesterday, but I did get confirmation from Wegmans of the donation. So we'll chat offline about that. But and then just a note for everyone, it is clear when you go in the storage unit. This is a tiny storage unit, like you can't walk in it. You just kind of start taking stuff out. We have some stuff in there that's like for other non-PurpleStride events. So I have gone in and labeled "Do not bring to PurpleStride" on all of those boxes. So nothing bad happens if you do, except that you wasted your strength.
You have to take it there and back for no reason. Yeah.
So just a note to keep an eye out for. It's maybe 5 boxes that say that, just to save your time.
Okay. Megan, are you in the area? Are you local? Are you flying in?
I'm flying in.
Okay. Do you know what time you arrive on Thursday?
Around 3.
Okay. And you've rented a vehicle, presumably.
I have, yes. The stow, whatever this, Anna, what
the
is
stow
it?
and go minivan?
Thank you. Yes.
That's great. Okay. So that vehicle will be super helpful. Our team will also have a minivan, and dependent on their arrival times. And I think, Eric, you're local enough that you're not flying. Kaz will be flying in, which means Kaz will be picking up the minivan. And so you guys will coordinate on that a little bit. But Ebony and Paul and Anna, for the storage pickup itself, we just need at least one volunteer there who's got the key or the code to let us in. And if we want to time this out so it's later in the afternoon or evening on Thursday so that Megan can be there with her vehicle as well, that might be best. But I really want to be respectful of your schedules. And if doing it earlier in the day makes more sense, then that's okay too. But what are your thoughts on that?
I was thinking Thursday afternoon to be fine for me.
Okay. So I think at this point, when you guys get the event book on the 17th, you'll have each other's phone numbers there. And Kaz, as our site manager, will start a group text with Kaz, Eric, Megan, and Paul, the event leadership team. And at that point, you guys can just coordinate directly with each other on timing and get the address of the storage unit so that, in terms of when flights are coming in and everything, you can make sure you're all on the same page with that. I think at that point, it's just easier for you guys to work out those details amongst yourselves than try and have me get in the middle of it and slow everything down. Sound good?
I was going to add Ebony as well, because I know she's very knowledgeable on the
Of
storage.
course. Absolutely. Yeah. And add Ebony to that group chat if you want to. I mean, Ebony, you are a priceless storage of information about PurpleStride. So I think that it would be good for the team to have your knowledge and your background there too. All right. Over to you, Ashley.
All right, I'm going to jump into Friday if we're good with Thursday. So I have our team all arriving at 7 on Friday, and this is really just to mark where the tents are going to go and the stage is going to go before our vendors arrive at 8. And then between 8 and early afternoon, this is just the big infrastructure build, popping up the tents with our tent company, and then making sure the stage is centered and everything is going well there. This is a great time to start going through your course signage and prepping it for the route. So if you have volunteers or your route lead there, that's great. Also to get your tent banners ready so that once the tents are up, the tent vendor can just go behind and put up the storefront signage. And then in the afternoon, that's when the tents are all up and the tables and chairs under there, we'll just make sure the correct quantities are in the right places. And then you can start putting boxes into the tents just to make it easier the next morning. And then we have our security arriving at, or overnight security arriving at 4. And it's always good to do a quick team huddle just to make sure you got your punch list ready for the next morning before you depart for the night. For Thursday, anything you want me to add? Any edits, questions?
So that 12 to 5 time chunk is the good time for the other volunteers to come and do set up the tents. By that point, they'll be built. If they come much earlier than that, they'll just be standing around watching tents being built. So.
Jump into Saturday. I have arrival at 6, meeting our security folks, and then between 6 and when the site opens at 7:30, that's really just putting those final touches on the site, unrolling any banners that you rolled up the night before, putting the quick covers on the tables, unboxing the items for each tent. And then also this is prime time to set up that route with all the breadcrumb signage, especially because the route has some tweaks this year too. So we want to make sure we're extra thorough in marking that. And then at 8:30 is when the open ceremony happens, and then we'll do a quick call on the radio to make sure everything is set up for the route, and then the walk will start at 9. We have closing ceremony at 10:30, and then the event will conclude at 11. Make sure we do that inventory and hopefully celebrate another successful PurpleStride Maryland. Any questions, things to add?
And Paul, there will be an editable version of this timeline that we'll post to Maryland's folder on the shared resource site. That will also be on the 13th. And that is yours to do what you want with. So you can work with Anna and Ebony and anybody else to add in specific volunteer arrival times or any other just specific times that you want to keep tabs on. If you're the kind of person that needs to eat lunch on your schedule in order to remember to eat lunch, you can do that. It's yours to do what you want with. This version of the timeline is the one that will be in the event book, but we want you to have one as well that you can make your own.
Thank you very much.
Of course. All right, let's go to the site.
Is this large enough for everyone?
Looks good. Thank you for asking, Ashley. I've gotten in your head enough about
yeah, for sure.
old people not being able to see.
Yeah. All right, so we have this, like I mentioned in February. This should look very similar to based off of the changes we talked about then, and then the little information we've gotten in March. I will do a final version with the updated All-Star teams. I did take note of the ones that you mentioned today in here. So the final version will be next week, but let me know if I missed anything based off of our call last time. But we're under these solar panels again, and we do have the whole lot, but this is what I've blocked off for your particular festival area with the cones. So folks will be parked up here and then they'll walk into the sites this way. And then we have our volunteer check-in or registration donation. Here's your food and beverage. And as folks keep walking through, here's your photo, play zone, some sponsors and all-star teams sprinkled here in the middle. And then closer to the stage, we have our more of the key, what you see at all the Purple Strides, your Band Club, Survivor, Why Do You Stride, Pro teams up here at the front, and then one of those other all-star teams. Changes, edits, things I missed in February.
Ashley, I have a quick question. It comes up at every event that I've been to. Is there Survivor parking?
The parking lot's like right here. I think I have it.
It's close
so
by.
It's close enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's literally right. This is a very good venue parking wise, Megan. It's like the opposite
Excellent.
of Boston's parking situation. So
Okay,
yeah, there's a
Yep.
gigantic parking lot directly next to it. So we honestly just haven't felt the need because
Perfect.
there's just so much parking that's close by.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Great question.
And just checking in
Quick
on
question.
go ahead, Paul.
No, I was saying, we were having a conversation about the, since it's more space, do we have any access to more speakers so everybody can hear? Because a lot of people complained about not hearing in the front.
We don't have that on the order now. This might actually be a good question for Kaz to answer. We can check in with the AV vendor. We have found when we've, tried to add extra speakers in the back of this is a very long event village setup. It doesn't always make a huge difference anyway, but we can look into that because you are quite a bit more spread out this year than you were last year. So let me get back to you on that one.
All righty.
And then I was going to ask about for your start finish. I believe you guys are doing balloons. Is that right? Okay, great.
Yep, Paul has that all squared away.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, arch balloons.
Great. Pull up the route map if we're good with the site map. Okay. This is our logistical map one that will be in the event book, but if we need to, I also have, you saw a minute ago, my maps version too, knowing that it looks a little different, not much different, but a little different than years past to help with traffic flow. So folks will start by going around the track before heading north up through the main campus area. I still have the water station behind the library right here. And then folks will go, I think this is what they would call their quad area, and kind of just do this little figure 8-ish before heading back down. And I've tried to do as much as possible with making sure folks aren't on the same pathway as much as possible. There's little bits right here, but before heading back down to the festival site area. And I did put some extra signage in too, so you have some room as well. So Paul, you should be getting those.
Any questions on the route?
Yes, I did
Would be a
receive
big
all of
improvement.
those.
Great.
I did want to address the question about the DJ stations along the route. I know this has come up on previous calls and you were waiting to hear about if there were power sources available out at various parts of the route. We've heard back that site power is not going to be available. So if you want to do those little DJ cheer stations, which I love that idea so much, they're going to have to be chargeable or battery powered speakers that they use. So you can still do them and place them where you want. And a lot of those little Bluetooth speakers pack quite a punch now, so you can get pretty good sound out of those things. But unfortunately, we don't have access to site power to plug anything in.
Okay. I will let the DJ know.
Okay. Any special circumstances, Ashley?
No, I know there was something about coffee. Is that happening still? Do I need a
No. So that
Okay.
and that I had not even mentioned it to Ebony and Paul because I was like, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up before
sorry.
but yeah, they Hannah got back to me and it's just there's too much with the health department. Also, Ebony and Paul, for clarification, a coffee company had reached out to me about potentially doing samples. We can still do the volunteer coffee that we've done in the past. That's not a problem. I guess if it's an outside vendor bringing it in is where it gets tricky with the permitting. So that is not happening, but we'll still plan to have coffee for the volunteers like we typically do.
All right, what other questions do you have? Things you want to check on, clarifications?
Anna, Paul, Ebony, question about food and water being delivered. Do we have to pick it up on Friday? Is that covered?
Yep. Normally, I put it all in the truck and I just bring it.
Amazing.
Yep.
Great.
So I'm gonna bring everything. Normally, I unload everything all at one time.
Perfect. Great. This is amazing. Well-oiled machine.
Yeah,
Yes.
having someone with the truck is really a game changer. Thank you, Paul, for having a truck.
No problem.
What else? I mean, like Megan said, well-oiled machine. Yeah, this is we got things pretty dialed in here, and I'm glad that we were able to give you a little bit more space on the site layout this year. That's going to be a nice change, I think. Fingers crossed for no rain, although being under those covers, I think, helps a little bit. But we do have our weather contingency plan that will call into effect about a week out from the event. We'll start checking the forecast and seeing what the weather looks like. I know in past years, we have not activated some of those weather pieces for Maryland. And then it ended up raining and you didn't have the preparations you need for it. So we're going to take a real close look and maybe be a little bit liberal with activating some of those items if it looks like there's any chance of rain. We all know that looking at the forecast a week out can give us an idea, but it's not always super reliable. So unless it's like 10 days of sunny skies and no clouds, and we're feeling pretty good about that, then if there's anything that's looking like it might be rain, we'll get you a tent over the stage. And you already have one. We can get you a tent over the purple play zone too, if you like, although it is under that cover. So that's part of the weather contingency for rain.
And I think the tent over the stage is the biggest thing for this group. So as long as we can be like, okay, even if there's like any chance of rain, maybe
I know,
just because
I know what a difference it makes. Yep. Quick question about 2027. Well, here we are. I know that we had some conversations earlier in the year about a possible move to Coppin State we were talking about. I just want to check in about what you're thinking for 2027 site. Do you want to pursue some other options again? Are we happy staying where we are? We're just trying to get a handle on what we need to work on reserving right away versus if we might be scouting.
So I think Ebony and I have talked about this a little bit, and I think our thought and Ebony, correct me if you have any different feelings since the last time we talked, but last time we talked, our thought was kind of, I mean, always getting the loose hold on this as a backup, I think is good. But we are still very interested in pursuing Coppin. Ebony has some connections there. So, because the biggest cost the biggest issue you'll remember was cost. Yeah. So I don't think, and correct me, like I said, Ebony, if you feel differently, I don't think we need like what we had last year with Event 360 scoping out options. I think we have kind of zeroed in that we like the idea of having this event specifically at an HBCU. And we liked Coppin when we went there. So I think our thought is we're going to try to leverage Ebony's connections to see if we can sort of maybe convince them to have some wiggle room on pricing to make it more realistic for us.
Yeah, I think it was the parking that, participants were going to be charged for, or buying out the parking lot was going to be prohibitive. So
that was the big thing. The actual like cost of renting the venue was not the problem. It was
right. So Ashley can work on sort of reestablishing that connection with Coppin State, letting them know we are interested for next April, and then we'll just let Ebony work her magic and see if we can, if we can talk them down a little bit on some of that stuff. We'll be in touch about that, but we will hold the current site. Sorry, it's so early in the morning. We'll hold the current site as a backup just in case Coppin State falls through, but more to come on that.
Hey, quick question. I know across the street from Coppin, there is the Mondawmin parking lot, which is rarely used. I want to know if we can kind of get in contact with them and kind of park our cars like directly across the street.
What's it called?
Mondawmin Mall.
The biggest thing we would need to look into, Paul, is just, although I guess, I don't know, now that I'm thinking about other venues, maybe this isn't an issue. Is there any sort of issue, Aaron, with if the road is not closed and participants are parking across the street? Or is that something where we can be like, crossing the street from the parking lot is not something that we need to like stress about people doing?
Yeah, I mean, we in general try not to have people cross a busy street to get to the site from the parking, but at the end of the day, you're correct that these people are adults for the most part and should be able to cross the street safely. But yeah, I mean, if it's and if that's the deal maker or deal breaker is like cheap available parking versus not cheap parking, then I think we can even line up some police support to help with a street crossing if we need it.
Right. Okay.
We'll look into that. Thanks for the tip, Paul.
No problem.
All right. Anything else? Your silence says everything. Event books, April 17th. Keep an eye out for those. We are absolutely still reachable if there's anything that you need between now and go time. So don't hesitate to send us an email to the volunteers inbox if there's anything that you need. But yeah, we're looking and feeling pretty good for this one. Excited to see sunny skies and beautiful pictures coming out of the Maryland event. Eric and Kaz, if you would stick around for a minute at the end of the call. Paul, Ebony, Megan, so nice to see you. Anna, always a pleasure. This is our last, oh no, we still have Raleigh Durham after this.
Yeah,
so.
literally like 1 hour.
Yeah, almost our last call together. So nice to see you. Thank you so much, Paul and Ebony, especially for all the work that you put in for months and months to bring this event to life. It's truly an honor to have this partnership work so well. So thank you so much. We are very excited. 21 days till event day. Good luck with everything. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Look forward to meeting
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.